I discovered a very interesting piece of software recently. It's Whiteboard video creation software. It's the type where a hand draws on the screen. As you can see there, it can draw text or images. It's a very inexpensive alternative to other software that does the same job. It's available for PC and Mac. Pretty easy to use too. Watch the following demo. Okay, I'm inside the software now. I'm recording this using Camtasia. The software can create good videos on its own, but because I'm giving you a demo, I'm going to show you around. That's the initial slide there that I used for the introduction. You'll notice that the items are numbered 1, 2, 3 and 4. But anyway, let's go up to the top and give you a look around. There's menu items with a comprehensive set of options there, but the most common ones are the buttons here. So it's the usual sort of thing: new, open, save. This one exports the file as a MP4 movie file, suitable for YouTube or suitable for inclusion within Camtasia, as I'm doing here. This one is for adding a voice narration. This one is for audio settings. I'll just quickly click on that to show you. You can add background music. There's some tracks there that you could use. I'm just going to say cancel to that. Back up to the buttons again. That's for adding text. That one's for adding images. This one's for the timeline. The timeline is really just the video as it stands at the moment. I'll just say cancel to this, go back to the slide, or back to the canvas I should say, as it was. Click on this and you'll see that this moves along as the video is created, and I'll just press stop to that meantime. So those are the buttons, the menu items. One item I should mention at the start is one of the menu items is scene. So let's set the scene. The default for canvas sizes are here. You'll notice that 640x480 is a kind of a square format. I prefer a sort of widescreen format for filling the YouTube video frame, so I changed it from 640x480 was the option there, so I changed that to 640x360. You can change the canvas size to whatever you like. Other options here, just while I'm in this area: the colour. Instead of having a white wall, as you can see, you can change the wall to any colour you like. I'll just say cancel to that. And you could have a gradient. If you wanted a gradient, you could choose, say, something like that. And you can see there at the side it gives you a preview. That's the sort of gradient effect taking place. But let's just leave it as whiteboard. It's called whiteboard, so let's just leave it as whiteboard. Right, okay, that's the canvas size set. All the other options I've left as they are. The manual recommends leaving the default options, and the only one I find that's useful to change here is the canvas size, 640x360. I quite like that for YouTube, so say OK to that. And that's it, that's the buttons all covered, I think. So let's go ahead and have a look and see what we can do with this. If you're used to using PowerPoint or Keynote, the idea there of course is that you create one slide at a time. It's a slightly different concept with this software. If you can imagine a large white wall and there's two people working to create a video. One of them's the artist. He's scribbling away frantically to create text and images, and the other guy that's involved, he's got a video camera. He's recording the scene as it's done. So if you can bear with that idea just for the second, I'm going to move, just click anywhere on the canvas area here, move this to the left. Or another way of thinking of it is that the guy with the camera has moved to the right. By the way, you can move it to the left, to the right, up or down, it doesn't matter. So the guy with the camera is now looking at a new area of the wall, so let's create something on this new area. So we'll start off with just adding some text. Click on the Add Text button. It pulls up a text box. You can change the type of font. There's lots of different fonts, lots of different sizes. Let's just add some text. So it's size 72 at the moment. You can change the size easily here, but it's not too critical because you can change the size of the text once you've added it to the canvas. So we'll just say OK to that. Now, this is important because we've moved to a new area of the wall. I'm just going to click on that and move it up here first of all. I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to say, just move this so you can see, request focus, because we're focusing on a new area of the wall now. And I'm also going to right click and say fix camera. So that's the text added. And if we go up to here again, I'm going to press this preview button quite often during this demo probably. So when I say preview, all I'm doing is going up here and clicking this button here. So let's watch what's happened so far. That's the introductory type thing that I did. That's the pen operation in action. That's the default. There's other options for that. I'll show you them in a second or two. Still drawing with the pen. And this option here was the drag in option. So you can see how easy it is. So that's it, going to the different area of the wall. So that's where we've got to so far. So let's now add an image. Just click on this button to add an image. And I'm going to find an image, just, I don't know, everyday type items. Just takes a second to load. We'll just choose this blue car. It looks a bit distorted there, but watch what happens when you add it. Looks like a bit like a BMW 3 Series to me. Anyway, just left click on it, double click it first, left click on it to put it in the center, and you'll notice these handles, you can actually change the orientation. You can make it bigger or smaller just by dragging these handles around. So I'll just right click on it, fix camera. I'll press the preview button, remember the green triangle I showed you. So you can watch it as it develops just to see how your video is coming along. Those are the introductory type text items that I added, and as it goes on you'll see that it moves to the new area of the wall for the bit that we created together. That's it going to move now. This is a video recording on the new section of the wall. We've added some text, we've added an image, and that's the story so far. Now let's look at some options though. If I right click on this, move it down so you can see, right click, and trying to move this Camtasia recorder out of the way, right click, properties. The very last item on the menu when you right click is properties. That's it there. So right click on that. Now this gives you a lot of different options. Now this software is very good because you can mix and match things on the same page. Let's go through them one by one. You can do nothing. That just means that the text or the image just appears on the canvas. The next one is draw. That means that the image is drawn but with no hand visible at all. It just draws. The next one is draw by hand. That's the default that you've already seen. Drag in. Drag in is the one that I did for the introductory video. Whenever you select that, you can drag it in from left to right, from up to down, etc, etc. So that's the one I could select. Let's select that one. Let's just drag in the car, let's say that way, and I'll say apply to that. Other options, drag in by hand. That's where you can have a hand dragging something into the scene. or you can have it fading in. So those are the options you can have for, you'll notice that that's misspelt there. So let's have just, we'll leave that as it is. I should explain what some of these other things are though. You can have a delay before the image or the text appears. You can change the drawing time. Let's just change that to a bit longer. You can have a pause after it's drawn, and the exit options you've got do nothing. Do nothing means that the image or the text just stays as it was. The other options, you can have it fading out or you can have it dragging out. So those are the options on that menu item. We'll say OK to that, and I'll click the preview button again, and let's see how it's going so far. That first one was just fading in. This one's with the pen. The next one's with the pen again, as you've already seen. And the last one was the dragging in option. And you know, I changed the time in some of these. This is the ones that we've added since we started doing this. We've added some text. Oh, we've got the car reversing in, but I'm sure you get this sort of idea. Now let's move this off the let's move the camera, I should say, or move this off the canvas, whatever way you want to think of it. Now there's quite a lot of images come with the software, but if you want to add your own, I'll just give you a quick look at, I don't know, various things here, gadgets. But if you want to add your own image, let's just look at this option, load image from PC, and you just go up and click. I've got a couple of images on the desktop that I've got for this demonstration. The first one is a PNG file, this one here. It's a bubble type character, 3D bubble type character. Just open it up. It looks a bit sparse there, but watch what happens when I create done. The image just appears. Now, as you can see, it's a bit big. It's too big for the area that the camera can see. So all we really need to do is double click on it, and I'll move the camera up so you can see what I'm doing. Just pull in these handles until you get the image the size you want. Something like that, maybe get it level. And then let's now drag it over to the left. Now remember, we're on a new area of wall here, so whenever you move to a new area of wall with the camera, request focus. Click that, and I'll also fix the camera. So let's add something else here. I'll do the same thing again. Just go up and add another image. Let's pick a JPEG type image this time. Load image from PC. Again, I'm just going up here. This one's of trees. I'll just open that. Now that really does look weird this time, but I'm not going to fiddle with anything here. I'm just going to say done, and that image will, again, it's a bit big. Just double click on it, pull the handles till I get it sort of roughly the right size, drag it across, and then click somewhere. Does that look okay? Yeah, that's not bad. So again, right click, fix camera. So the default for these are drawn by hand. You can change it to, as I showed you before, properties, if I can get this to go far enough down the page. Properties, and these are the different options. So let's choose something different for this one. Let's have this one just drawn. I'll say OK to that, and this 3D bubble character, right click. I'm just going to choose the option here to have this one take a little bit longer to draw perhaps. Drawing time 4.5 seconds, we'll say OK to that. And do a preview again, clicking the button at the top. Those last two images, by the way, are available from my KeynoteImages.com website. The first one is a 3D bubble character, as you saw, and the second one was a JPEG image. The 3D bubble characters are included with the package, and the JPEG image that I got to show here was available through a free website that's mentioned in the KeynoteImages.com website. It's where you can have images available with no royalty problems and with no need for attribution. So that's it being drawn, and those are the two images. So let's move these two off the canvas again, and let's see what else could we do. I've mentioned before about adding a voice, which is done with this. There's two ways you can produce or make a video, I guess. You could record your story, your voice first of all, do the voice narration, and then add the images to suit your voice. Or you could do it the other way around, or you could do both things at once, as I'm doing here. But that, I think, gives you a reasonable idea of how the software works. It's very easy. It's really just a case of adding text or images or a combination of both, and then once you've done that, you can do the voice narration first if you want, or last. You can add some background music. If you're doing the background music, you would obviously have to, if you're doing voice, you'd probably have it pretty high, and the background music you'd have it pretty low. And after you've done that, it's really just a case of clicking on this button here, and that would produce the video. It produces it, as I think I've mentioned, as an MP4 file. So this video is getting kind of long, so I'll stop for the moment. What I'll do actually is I'll take a few minutes and I'll produce a quick demo video of the type of thing that you could do and let you see how it looks. So I'll pause the video just for a second, guys. So this is the sort of thing you could do to make up an actual YouTube video. This drawing here is from the clip art library. It's a demonstration of how to take a screenshot with an iPad. That house is also from the clip art library, so you could say something like, to take a screenshot with an iPad, press and hold down the home button and then press and release the power button, and that takes the screenshot which will appear in the camera roll. So that's a sort of working demo. Notice that I've changed the hand here. It's a guy with a shirt. I've used different colour text there. That image is from the clip art library too. So that quick demo video was recorded entirely within the Whiteboard software itself. One thing I forgot to mention was the type of hand you can have. One of the menu options gives you some options here. The default is the top one. You could have a lady's hand. It's a lady with a blue-green pen or a black pen. And the one I used for that quick demo was the bottom one here with the shirt cuff showing. So it gives you an idea of the type of thing you could do with this software. You could use it for YouTube interesting or amusing videos. You could use it for marketing, websites. You could even produce holiday videos. There's various things you could do with it. And if you're interested in obtaining it, it's available via the link below. And the two external images that I used, the bubble character and the image of trees, were obtained via my KeynoteImages.com website. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching, bye.